morning, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed your 3-day weekend. Today, we're going to begin with our reading titled, What is DNA? And this is going to help us get a little bit familiar with our new reading topic for this month. So the title of our story today that we are going to be reading is, What is DNA? And we're going to follow along and we're going to read, and then we're going to answer our comprehension questions. Before we begin reading, I want to go over our focus question. Our focus question is, what colors, should be color, so I made a mistake. Erase that. What color are your eyes? Okay? So I want you all to think about that for a minute and think about what color are your eyes. After we're done reading, we're going to come back to our focus question, and you're going to be able to share out your answer either by putting your answer down in Google Classroom or having your parent or guardian send your answer to me so that I can come up with a chart so we can graph our answers from this. So let's go over the materials that we are going to need today. So all the materials now, from now to the end of the school year, we're going to be using from our third packet. So the new packet that you just got delivered in the mail. So from that packet, you're going to be gathering our reading titled, What is DNA? And then the comprehension questions that go along with it. Everybody is going to have the same comprehension questions, which are going to look like this. There's going to be 5 blank boxes, and attached there's going to be pictures to it. I actually already cut out my pictures, but should be stapled together. You're also going to need a pencil, you're going to need scissors, and you're going to need a glue stick or tape. So I'll go over those materials one more time. From your packet, you should be gathering the reading titled, What is DNA? You're also going to be gathering your comprehension questions. All of our comprehension questions are going to be the same today. So your comprehension questions that look like this, and then also attached to it will be all of the pictures that we are going to cut out. You're also going to need a pencil for your name, scissors to cut out your pictures, and then glue or tape so we can glue or tape our answers down. If you need a little bit of extra time gathering those materials from your packet and then the additional supplies, please pause the video here, and then when you have everything in front of you, you can press play. Alright, so now that all of your materials are in front of you, I'm going to go back to the focus question, and we're going to go over the 5 vocabulary words that we are going to be introduced to and hearing about in our reading today. So again, going back to the focus question, it's simple. What color are your eyes? So I want you to think about your answer so then we can report back after our reading. We're going to go over the 5 vocabulary words that we are going to be introduced to and hearing about now in our new unit for the month. As I say each of the vocab words, you can repeat back after me. So we have bodies, tells, cell, DNA, and people. Now I would like you to get your reading. We're going to begin by reading the title. As I read our reading, I'd like you to follow along with me, and we'll also be pausing just to go over some of the key details in our reading that's going to help us answer our comprehension questions. So let's start with the title. What is DNA? People, animals, and plants are made up of cells. So cell is one of our key vocabulary words. A cell is very small. We cannot see cells with our eyes. Our bodies have many cells. Bodies is another key vocabulary word. So on this page we learn that a cell is very small and our bodies are made up of many cells. All of our body parts are made up of cells. Our bones are made up of cells. Our eyes are made up of cells. Our hair is made up of cells. So over here, going back to our vocabulary, we learned that all of our body parts are made up of cells. Whether it's your hair, your eyes, your bones, everything is made up of cells. And a cell are very tiny. The cells in our bodies work to make more cells. Each cell cell works to make our body look the way it does. Each cell is a worker. Each cell has a special job to do. So the cells that we have in our bodies make up more cells. And each cell is a worker. And each cell has a special job to do. But how does each cell know what to do? Who is the boss? Who tells cells what to do? DNA is the boss. DNA tells cells what to do. DNA is inside of every cell. It looks like a long ladder. Each rung up the ladder has special directions. So we have DNA, which is one of our vocabulary words, tells, which is another vocabulary word, our cells what to do. So DNA tells our cells the type of job that they have to do in our body. Who's the boss? Who tells cells what to do? DNA is the boss. DNA has directions for each cell. DNA tells cells what color eyes to make. DNA tells cells what color hair to make. So the DNA tells our cells what color eyes we are going to have. The DNA might tell the cells what color hair we're going to have. DNA would even tell our cells what type of skin color we are going to have. Who's the boss? Who tells cells what to do? DNA is the boss. DNA is a good boss. Cells are good workers and listen to the DNA. DNA makes you look like you. Okay? So DNA we learned today. So what is DNA? So DNA is the boss, and DNA tells the cells what their specific job is. Cells work together in our bodies to create our muscles, to create the hair color that we have, to create the eye color that we have, to create the skin color that we have. We're going to be learning more about DNA and our genetic makeup for our monthly reading topic. So right now, what I'd like you to do is now I'd like you to put your reading aside and get out your questions. So your questions should be stapled. Page 1, you're going to see the same questions that I'm displaying here. And when you look for page 2, you're going to see pictures. And you're going to see these 5 pictures that I have on our board. I would like you to cut out with your scissors those 5 pictures that are on top. I already cut out my pictures and they're placed here on the board. So I'd like you to take the scissors and I'd like you to cut out those 5 pictures on the top. You can pause the video here, and then when you have those 5 pictures cut out, so those pictures should be bodies, cells, cell, DNA, and people, you can press play again and then make sure that you have your glue stick ready, because I'm going to read our questions while you answer them. Okay, so now that everybody has those 5 pictures cut out, I'd like you to take your pencil and I'd like you to put your first and last name at the top of your paper. After you're done putting your first and last name at the top of your paper, I'm going to read each of the questions. And you are going to choose the picture that best represents the answer to the question. And you're going to either glue it or tape it in the box. Okay, so question number 1. You want to make sure that all your pictures are spread out in front of you so you can view them. So question number 1 says, blank animals and plants are made up of cells. Bodies, cells, DNA, or people. You're going to glue one answer into the box here that best completes the question. Number 2, our blank have many cells. Bodies, cells, cell, DNA, or people. Number 3, each blank has a special job to do. Bodies, cells, cell, DNA, or people. Number 4, DNA blank cells what to do. Bodies, tells, cell, DNA, or people. And number 5. Blank makes you look like you. Bodies, tells, cell, DNA, or people. So you should have a picture for question number 1 in the blank, a picture for question number 2 in the blank, a picture for question number 3 in the blank, a picture for question number 4 in the blank, and a picture for question number 5 in the blank. If you missed one of the questions, you can always rewind the video till you reach the part that you need to and hear me say the question again so that you can complete the question. So now what I'd like you to do is, I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video that you're also going to need a correcting tool such as a marker, colored pencil, or you could even use your pencil actually. And you're going to correct our answers as we go along with them. Remember, if you get the answer correct, you can put a check. If you get it wrong, you can try to peel off the answer and fix it, but it might not work too well since we're using either glue or tape. You can just try to make a note as to what the correct answer would be so we can just learn from our mistake. So number 1, blank animals and plants are made up of cells. The fill-in would be people. People, animals, and plants are made up of cells. Number 2, our blank have many cells. The correct fill-in is bodies. Our bodies have many cells. Number 3, each blank has a special job to do. The correct fill-in is cell. Each cell has a special job to do. Number 4, DNA blank cells what to do. DNA tells cells what to do. And number 5, blank makes you look like you. And the correct answer is DNA makes you look like you. So in our chapter reading today, What is DNA? We learned that people, animals, and plants are made up of cells. There's all different types of cells in our body, and each cell has a specific job. DNA tells the cells what to do. So it tells the cells to create what type of eye color we are going to have, what type of hair color we're going to have, and DNA makes you look like you. So like I said, moving on into our new unit for the month, we're going to be learning more about DNA. We're going to be learning more about our genes, so our genetic makeup and why we look the way that we do. And we're going to be learning a little bit more about our bodies. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to go back and revisit the focus question, which is what color are your eyes? So if I know if I looked in the mirror, the color of my eyes are blue. So I'm going to, so on our Google Classroom, you can answer the focus question below our post by just typing in one word. Maybe, I know some of you might have blue eyes or green eyes or brown eyes, and that way all of your friends can see your answer to the focus question, and then we can compare how similar and how different we are. I would also like to review our 5 vocabulary words that we were introduced to and learned about in our story today. As I say each vocab word, you can repeat back after me. We have bodies, tells, cell, DNA, and people. So that is going to be it for reading today. And remember, you can have a parent or an older sibling or an adult take a picture of your comprehension questions and send it to me so I can view them. And then after reading, it's going to be time for math. So I will see you all back in math.